Hi guys, my name is Casey. Thank you for coming out tonight, and I'm here to hopefully tell you a pretty compelling story about my time studying abroad. I want to start by telling you a little bit about myself and why I decided to go. For me, it came from a point of self-reflection. You know, I kind of looked at myself and thought, well, if something is uncertain or if I've never done it before, I can have a lot of anxiety regarding it. I found that I would be very reserved if I was uncertain about something or even avoid new circumstances. And that was something I wanted to change about myself. And I'd never been outside of the country before, so I figured, why not study abroad? And I wanted to do it in a place where I wasn't going to feel comfortable. I wanted an experience that was going to leave a lasting impact. So China was my choice. And let me tell you, I got what I asked for. Every single day was uncertain. I mean, the uncertainties alone were enough to change me. For example, you know, going to the store, you walk into the supermarket, you don't know if you're buying bleach or laundry detergent because all the labels are in Chinese. You go to a restaurant and you don't know what you're ordering because none of the waiters speak Chinese, or speak English rather, and the menu is in Chinese, so we just kind of use pictures. Another experience that I had a lot of anxiety about going in was my internship. I had never had an internship before, so I was just sitting there wondering, like, am I going to be able to communicate with my supervisor? Am I going to be able to do the work that she's asking me to do? I mean, what is a Chinese law firm like? It was a legal internship. And we get there, and the building looks like this. So it was pretty intimidating. It's a bit like a castle. But we went in, and you know, we introduced ourselves and we got to talking. She gave us a tour of the building. It was really cool. There were lots of communist logos everywhere. This picture stood out to me. I think it's pretty crazy. But you know, as the day went on, I started to relax, and especially throughout the internship, I got more comfortable. I found out that she's just a regular person and she was really easy to communicate with. So I started to kind of change my mindset a little bit. Another experience that really stood out was getting a haircut. So I didn't want to get a haircut in China. Raise your hand if you're like this. I only let one person touch my hair. That was me. So I wouldn't even let an American barber touch my hair, let alone someone in China. Has this person ever cut American hair before? I'm not sure. But you know, Casey, we're trying new things. Like, let's do it. Let's just go for it. So I go in and I show them a translation, and it said, what did I type? I said, short sides, long top. And that was what I showed them, and a picture. And they typed into the translator something back like, spoonfish haircut. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that works. Let's go with it. We're trying new things, right? But eventually I collected that the manager was going to be the one who has to cut my hair. And he comes out, and I knew it was the manager because he had the most intense look on his face. And he was wearing this bright pink shirt, his hair was all slicked back, he had suspenders on, and he comes down in front of me and sets down this briefcase, and on it is a vintage American flag. So I'm like, oh, thank God, he's gonna know. He knows America, he's gonna know how to cut my hair. And he starts going at it, and let me tell you, this was the most passionate haircut I've ever received. I mean, this guy was intense. At one point, he pulled out a straight razor, which I had never used before, or had used on me, and he started to take it to my part and was like holding my head. But at the end, everything looked really well, and I don't know, what do you guys think? Think it's pretty good? That was a picture I showed him. Of course, afterwards, he used way too much hairspray, so my hair was about as hard as diamonds at that point. But, you know, going out of there, I'm thinking, that wasn't so bad. You know, maybe it's okay. And if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys about this experience. And on my way to my internship every day, the hair cuttery was on the way. So I'd pass by, you know, say hi, how's it going? I kind of made a friend in China. It was really cool. So I was glad I did it. And finally, the one thing that really stood out to me was our trip to the Huashan Mountains. The plan was, we had to spend the weekend in Xi'an. So we're going to take the train to the mountains, and then hopefully there's a taxi somewhere. We didn't know what kind of facilities would be there. Is there something to eat? Is there somewhere to use the bathroom? Don't know. Let's just go for it. So as you can imagine, you know, going in, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I was a little nervous. We get to the train station and realized that our train tickets were bought for the wrong day. So we had to go to customer service. And customer service was 3 different lines with 3 different labels at the head of them, all in Chinese. And we were late. So we forced ourselves to the front of the line, kind of rudely. I kind of regret that part. But we did make the train, and they changed our ticket, and it was great. So we make it to Xi'an, we get off, and we are immediately harassed by these people insisting that we need ponchos. I mean, I've never seen someone push a poncho so hard. And I felt really bad because, you know, like, there were these really old people, and you could tell that they didn't have a lot of money. But I didn't want to carry the poncho on the mountain, so I had to say no. And we fight past them, and then these guys come up to us and say, hey, we're taxi drivers, we'll take you to the mountains. We're like, oh, okay, that's nice, good, let's go. And we get in, and he takes us, it's about a 20-minute ride to a bus station. This isn't a mountain. We try to talk to him, and he's just like, get out, I have to go. So we did, and eventually we figured out, okay, well, the bus takes you to the mountains. So we get on the bus, it's about an hour ride up there, and we get there, and it is beautiful. It was serene. The fog was incredible. There was not a whole lot there. There were not a whole lot of people around. So we just started walking up this trail, man. We went for about an hour, and it was really humid that day. I remember my shirt was just like so wet with sweat. Everyone was just disgusting. And we kept marching up. You know, the plan was, we saw the sign, you know, back on the map. The plan was to get to the top and take the cable car down. And we kept marching and walking up, and eventually the mountain turned into more inclined steps. So, there's a picture of the steps. And after about another hour or so, without any food, we're like, where is this cable car? And then it started to rain. And it was really bad because now the question becomes, does the cable car even work in the rain? And also, if we walk down this mountain in the rain, I mean, it wasn't just like drizzling, it was pouring. So the water is running down the steps on the way down. So it could be potentially dangerous on the walk down. If you get hurt, you're pretty far from a hospital. But we decided to keep going up and just see what happens. And eventually we reached this point, and I'll never forget it. It was like an opening in a bridge, and there was a ravine down below. And the pictures, as you can see, it was very foggy, so it doesn't really do it justice. But I walked over the rail and looked down, and it looked like two big boulders about 50 feet down. And I looked a little closer and realized it wasn't 50 feet, it was hundreds of feet. We were almost like half a mile in the air. And walking, we eventually decided, okay, well, let's just go back down. So we walked down the mountain, and you know, we didn't feel defeated at the end of that, which really surprised me. It was a group of about 10 of us, and everyone was feeling really positive. We were all super wet, of course. You know, we rode the taxi and the bus and the train, soaking wet, but I had a great time. And I thought about the fact that if I hadn't have been brave enough to do that and just get over the fact that I wasn't sure about how things were going to go, I would have never gotten to experience it, and I wouldn't have this picture. So if you leave anything today from this, I want it to be, even if something seems uncertain or it's new to you, it can still go well. Thank you.